Hello and welcome back. So let's quickly dive into remaining conditional operators. So today we are going to discuss about this and, or, and not operators first, and then we will see about the conditional expressions, and then we will see about the all and any operators. These are all the conditional operators and how they can be used. Let's discuss about them. So first, let's see about the and operators. They are very simple. So suppose if I have suppose it's like a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20, and if we want to use the and or operators, then if a is greater than 9 and b is smaller than 21, which means if both the conditions are true, then print true, else print should be false. Okay, so and condition returns a true result if both the conditions which have been mentioned they are true. If any of these is false, or if you say that if the first condition becomes false, then the second condition is never checked. Okay, so here if we have a is greater than 9 and b is smaller than 20, which are both correct, which are both true, so in this case the true will be printed. So let me run this, and you can see the true has been printed here. Okay, so first thing you need to remember that if the first condition is false, then the second condition is not checked at all. That you must need to remember for the and condition. Now let us come to the or condition. In case of or condition, if both the conditions are true or one of the condition is true, then in that case it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So the normal and or conditions that you might have studied in other programming languages, the same rule applies here. So here you can see if I go like a is greater than 9, and even if I write like a b is smaller than 10, then in that case it will return true because a is greater than 9, that is true. So let me run it, so it will return true. And for the OR condition, you must need to remember that if the first condition is true, then the second condition is not checked. Okay, only if the first condition is false, then only the second condition is checked. So this is the rule for OR. Okay, for the AND, if first condition was false, then second was not checked. But in case of OR, if the first condition is true, then second is not checked. That is the difference between the and OR conditions. So I hope you might have understood about the and OR conditions. Now let us see about the not condition. What is not operator? So suppose if I write like not a is greater than 10. Okay, so if you check this, what you see here, a is greater than 10. Is a is greater than 10? No. A is equal to 10, it's not greater than 10. So a is greater than 10 is a false statement, and if you put a not before the false statement, then it becomes true, and if you put a not before a true statement, then it becomes a false. Since this a is greater than 10 is false, so using not will make it true. So if it makes it true, then the if condition will execute and true will be printed. So let us run it. So true has been printed. If I write like a is smaller than 10, then in that case a is smaller than 10 is, a is equal to 10, then in that case, it's true. Okay, a is equal to 10 is true. So what will happen that not will make it false. So if this not makes it false, then we will move into the else condition and false will be printed. So let us see. Okay, so here you can see the false has been printed. So these are the important concepts related to the and, or, and the not operators, and I hope you might have understood about them. Now let us see something about the conditional expressions. So what are those expressions? Suppose I want to, give the status of a student as minor if he is smaller than 18 years of age, and if he is greater than 18 years of age, then in that case I will tell him an adult. Okay, so let me write like age is equal to 18. Okay, so if I write age is equal to 18, and if I right? Like, you know, minor, let's say the age is 19. Okay. State is minor if age is smaller than or, smaller than 18, else I will say it's adult. Okay. So now let's print status. And if I run it, you can say you can see that it's coming out to be an adult because the age is greater than 19. Okay, minor could have been printed if age was smaller than 18. So if I write like 17, then in that case it will show you as minor. Okay, so now you might have understood how these things are calculated, how these things are done. Okay, how these operators are used. So this was all about the, conditional expression. Now we will see the all and any operator. Okay, these are very simple, all and any operators. So let me take three variables. A is equal to 10, B is equal to, 20. Don't need to put these semicolons. C is equal to, 30. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the, status, which is S is equal to all, and then inside all you can write like a is greater than uh, you know a is greater than 10, b is greater than 12, c is greater than 29. Okay, so if you see it closely, and now let us print the value of s. So if you see, in the case of all the conditions that you have written inside this, they need to be true. All of them need to be true. If any of them is false, like here, a is greater than 10 is false. Okay, so in this case, what will happen? It will give you a result false because not all the conditions are true. Okay, so this is all, which means that all the conditions should be true. So here I have given the conditions inside the brackets. All the conditions I have given inside the brackets. So this arrangement is known as the tuple. When you give the conditions inside the brackets, these kind of brackets, then this is tuple. You can give it in the form of list as well. So if you have to give it in the form of list, then you can use this kind of bracket. Okay, so if you give the conditions in this form, like in the form of list, then also it will work same, but these are just the representations which you can use. Okay, so this is about the, using the list for the all condition, and rather than, uh, you know, all, rather than list, you can also use the dictionary. So dictionary is shown using these curly brackets. So in case of dictionary, if I write like A is 10, B is 20, and C is 30. So in this case, you know, it only checks whether the key is non-zero or not. Okay, if all the keys are non-zero, then in that case, it will return true. So it only checks the keys. Don't worry about the values. So in case of dictionary, they are represented using the curly brackets, and inside the dictionary, the first thing is a key, and after the colon, the next thing is the value. So it doesn't worry about the values, it only worry about the keys. Keys should be non-zeros. So if any of the key is zero, then in that case it will return false. So here, if you see, it will return all true because all the keys are, true, which means non-zero. So even if you write like a is 11, then also you can see it's true because it is not it is not checking whether a is equal to 11. Okay, it is only checking whether the key is non-zero. So if any of the keys, suppose this b becomes 0, right? So in that case, it will return false because if any of the key becomes zero, then in that case, this all condition will return false. So with respect to the dictionaries, this is the rule. With respect to the tuples and lists, The rules are different, and we have discussed. In detail, we will discuss about the tuples and lists and dictionaries in the coming videos. But as of now, you can just understand that how they are represented. I think this is enough to understand their representation and their working. But in detail, we will discuss in the coming videos. Okay, so this was all about the all. But in case of any rather than all, you can also use any. So if I use any, then any of the three conditions should be true. So if I write like a is greater than 10, which is not true, b is greater than 12, which is true, c is greater than 29, which is again true, c is greater than 30, which is false. So if we see the result, then you can see that b is greater than 12, it is true. So if any of the conditions are true, then in that case, this will return true because it is any, right? It's just like you have put or operator between these conditions, okay? Now, let us do one more thing. Let us see about the, you know, this dictionary, okay? So let me see what happens if I use the dictionary. So if I use dictionary, then in that case, 11, B, 12, C 30. So this will again return, true because all the conditions, any of the conditions should be true and all of the keys are non-zero. So if the keys are non-zero, then in that case, everything is true. So it is returning true. So if I make any of these zero or two of these zero, then also it will return true because one of the keys is non-zero. So you need to remember this for the is it dictionaries that it only checks the keys, not the values, and keys should be non-zero to make it true. So in case of any of the conditions should be true, and for the dictionary, when you are using with any, then in that case only one of the keys should be non-zero, then it will return true. If all of them, if only all of them are zero, then only it will return, false. So let me show you. So if all the keys are zero, then in that case it will return false. Okay, so I hope you might have understood about the all and any operators, how they are used with the dictionaries, what is the difference when you're using with them using the and any operator and all operator using the using the dictionary, then in that case what is the difference when you use the tuple and list and when you use the dictionary. So all these things you need to remember, and these are very tricky things. These are mostly mistaken by the developers. So if you remember these, this will be really good for you while using them. Okay, so have a nice day and bye bye.